Hello and welcome to Don't Sleep on It for December, a series in which I take a look back at TV shows and movies from the previous month that perhaps didn't quite get the audience they deserve. The first Don't Sleep on It is a fantastic family festive watch. I've already done a short review of Wonka. It has much of the creative staff of Paddington 2, which is itself a near perfect movie, and though Wonka isn't as strong as Paddington 2, it's no slouch in hitting some of the same highs. The movie is just delightful. It does a lot to wash away the stink of the Johnny Depp attempt, and as you might expect from a Willy Wonka movie, it has a very heavy slant towards musical, much of which now falls on Timothée Chalamet's shoulders, without a cast of Oompa Loompas at his side, and it was genuinely surprising to me how good he is at song and dance. It's difficult to say how strong the songs are, given that it takes a couple of watches for them to really take root in my brain. But after one watch, there were some catchy choruses, some moments that stuck with me. Musically, I definitely appreciated how it doesn't just lean heavily into songs from the original, instead using them as leitmotifs here and there during his journey. And they've done very well with things like that at stirring emotion, be it nostalgia or other things. Even if that's not particularly difficult with me personally, outside of those direct kicks to the heart, the movie itself is very light, following a young Wonka who is full of hope and optimism at every turn. And as you might expect from something with the likes of Hugh Grant, Olivia Colman, Rowan Atkinson, and many more staple British comedy actors, it has a very pantomime feel to it, I think, which means it never really has an opportunity to show some of the darker, more cynical side that the original movie had. With that lightness, there's a lot of levity, a lot of comedy, and I genuinely wasn't expecting it to be as funny as it was. I did laugh quite a few times. That blend of wit, heartstring pulling, and lightness is what makes it a great family watch. So don't sleep on Wonka.
Mark my words, this is gonna be the greatest chocolate shop the world has ever seen.
The anthology TV adaptations of the Coen brothers' classic movie Fargo have been varied in their quality. That's not to say that any of the seasons have been bad, but there have been stronger seasons than others. Season 5 of FX's Fargo has been appearing throughout November and December, and it is definitely one of the stronger seasons. It manages to balance the almost Brettian alienation devices of previous seasons with a gripping, well-crafted story full of symbolism and metaphor. It's a fantastic cast of actors with very strong characters, too many to list. Jon Hamm and Jennifer Jason Leigh are definitely worth a mention, but Juno Temple, who is perhaps best known for playing a footballer's wife type character in Ted Lasso, is a standout, as she is absolutely incredible in her role, a tiger amongst lions, as one episode narrates. To describe why would be to spoil too much. It's really something when a show or a movie builds characters so well that just when two of them meet face to face, it's edge of the seat stuff, and Fargo does that at several points. I would say that this season has some of the strongest dramatic TV writing that I have seen for a while. So don't sleep on Fargo Season 5.
Better sleep with both eyes open.
Cut it out! Cut it out! Cut it out!
FX's Fargo premieres November 21st on FX. Stream on Hulu.
Lastly, my video about great scenes in average movies highlighted how I'm a fan of the Gareth Edwards Godzilla movie for its visual spectacle. However, what the Hollywood attempts at Godzilla lack is anything beneath that surface level, which has been true pretty much throughout the entire history of Godzilla, and is why this Don't Sleep on It is not about Monarchy Legacy of Monsters, the TV show which has neither substance nor stunning visuals. It's about the new Japanese movie Godzilla Minus One, When the original Japanese Godzilla released in 1954, Japanese audiences wept over its sentiment, whilst Western audiences laughed at its visuals. Godzilla Minus One is not a movie with the biggest budget or visual spectacle. There's a scene with a small boat facing off against Godzilla, which did kind of remind me of Jaws in some of its simplicity. That's not to say it looks bad. There are some great visual moments, Godzilla's breath being a particular standout. Some people will think it looks dated, others will think it's part of the charm, and I think true fans just won't care. But the main point is that the movie is full to the brim with some actual substance. There's no subtlety in the themes it's handling. It tackles loss, guilt, family, all the things you might expect. First and foremost, it's looking at survivor's guilt as we follow a kamikaze pilot who deserts from his duty, claiming that his plane has a fault. From that point, Godzilla follows him like a 400-foot-tall guilt monster, impacting every facet of his life. Even at his most peaceful, he's still haunted by his guilt. What is very smart, though, is that the movie transitions that guilt as part of his arc to a wider context as Godzilla approaches the mainland. There is obviously the expected connection to the use of atomic weaponry, but there's a strong theme towards the latter part of the movie of national guilt at how citizens were treated or used during the war. I took a lot away from this movie, way more than I have from any of the Western Godzilla movies, and it's up there with my favourite movies of this year. So don't sleep on Godzilla Minus One.
あんなもん倒せっこありません。東京がまた火の海になるのは見たくない。戦争が終わってないんです。今度の戦いは未来を生きるための戦いなんです。
Godzilla Minus One.
That's it for December's Don't Sleep on It. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you and all yours have a fantastic holiday period, whatever you get up to. And as per usual, I would very much appreciate all that likey, subscribey nonsense, as it's genuinely appreciated and helps. Thanks for watching.